Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs. Okay, so I've just started editing another video which I filmed about 10 minutes ago on my lunch break. We've got another interesting piece of Doctor Who news today. This is double whammy, 2 videos in one day. I don't know why I held up 4 fingers. 2 videos in one day. But yes, we are back, surprise, surprise, with more Doctor Who news. So, we now have 3 leaked pictures of Legend of the Sea Devils, and I did discuss one other leaked picture in my earlier video, but yeah, we'll just jump straight in. The first leaked picture, I'm pretty sure it's from a magazine. I'm not sure, SFX magazine maybe? Something sci-fi, I don't know, some magazine has allegedly leaked early, but it's all really fuzzy. And first image I'll just pop on screen right now. We have Yaz and the Doctor hiding behind a barrel. Now it's also interesting to note in this picture, we have sort of known this for quite a while, but it looks like the 13th Doctor is wearing a different costume in this episode to normal. And obviously Yaz's costume frequently changes throughout the series anyway, but it is notable because she's lost her blue coat. She's just wearing this weird sort of piratey-esque thing, and from this photo they are on the ship. I can't tell whether Yaz is hiding in that barrel or they're just behind it. I'm assuming behind it. The Doctor's clearly behind it, but Yaz might be hidden within the barrel itself. But yeah, that is going to be on the Chinese pirate ship, probably led by Zheng Yiseo, who was the Chinese pirate queen, who, yeah, the episode is about. And then the epic, iconic stuff in the corner, the Devil's Work. Nice little play on the fact that the villains of this episode are going to be the one, the only, the absolutely iconic Sea Devils, who, yeah, they're returning after I think about 40 or 50 years of not being on screen. The Sea Devils are finally coming back in this episode, which is great. Now, this photo in and of itself, to me at least, just pushes the idea of Thasmin, because, for those of you who don't know, the Thasmin stuff is the 13th Doctor and Yasmin. It's the ship between the 2 characters, which a lot of people always talk about, and it was kind of confirmed. It was confirmed, basically, in the New Year's Day episode, Eve of the Daleks, because Yaz was told by Dan, "Are you ever going to tell the Doctor how you feel?" And then Dan said to the Doctor, "Are you ever going to tell Yaz how you feel?" And the 13th Doctor has that yearning, lovely glance at Yaz as the workshop and all of that stuff blows up. But yeah, that looks very Thasmin-y, because it's a duo shot once again. Like, you don't have Dan in it. It seems to be them 2 going off on their own, like, mini adventure. Maybe Dan gets captured or something, and they have to go and save him from the Sea Devils. Something like that. There is text underneath where it says the Devil's Work, but it's far too small for me to read. I've tried putting it in a high res, and I know people on Twitter have tried putting it through like high resolution filters and stuff, but it's practically impossible to read what that actually says. Then the second image here is genuinely, I can't wait to see what this actually looks like in HD, but we have Jodie holding her Sonic in her new costume, yeah, the blue stuff, the sea behind her, and then right next to her we have one of the absolutely legendary, beautiful looking, I mean it's really fuzzy, but in the trailer they looked amazing, Sea Devils, and we can make out a little red circle that says Doctor Who something something something. Now, this image in and of itself doesn't show much because obviously it's quite small. We do see one of the Sea Devils. Maybe it's the same one from the trailer, but I think it's wearing different clothing. Like, I think it has a red vest on, and the other one had like a blue meshy vest, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the Doctor and a Sea Devil. And then in the corner, I think that's going to be armour of another character who's probably bigger on the poster, but we can only see like a shoulder pad or a head pad, or like maybe it's the fin of a Sea Devil who's like larger on the front cover. Maybe it's something completely unrelated. Probably looking far too much into that. But yeah, that's another really cool image, and I genuinely just cannot wait for this episode because, yeah, Thasmin, all of this stuff, we're getting good character development from the Chibnall era, which is the one thing I would say the Chibnall era somewhat has lacked over the past few years. Like, the characters are never as engaging as they once were in Doctor Who, and don't get me wrong, some of the ideas about plot and everything are brilliant, but some of the character work's been sorely missing, and we're finally getting that with Thasmin. Maybe it's too little too late, I don't know, tell me what you think in the comments. But yeah, that's image number 2. Now, image number 3 I did briefly discuss at the end of my last video, and as I mentioned, I'm not sure of an origin of where this photo comes from, but multiple people messaged me on Twitter with this photo, and I saw it put up by someone else on Twitter. But yeah, it's a picture of Yaz and Jodie hugging in a quarry. Now, this photo is not going to be leaked from the Legend of the Sea Devils episode, I shouldn't think, because if you look at the costume that Mandip Gill is wearing, that's the same costume she was wearing for the centenary special photos, for 1, when they announced they'd wrapped filming, and 2, when she was saying hi or goodbye to Graham and Dan back in Cardiff, which they shot, I think, in September of 2021. So yeah, that photo, once again, pushes this whole Thasmin's happening, 13th Doctor and Yasmin, whatever. It's also very likely that that's their final scene, because they look to be, I'm assuming on Gallifrey, it looks like it is just Jodie and Yaz. We know from the pictures of like the last day of shooting that it was just Jodie and Yaz on set on the TARDIS, which means they're probably going to drop Graham and Dan off together and let them two go off and have fun while the Doctor and Yaz travel off to say goodbye to each other. Now, a big rumour which has also been going around on Twitter at the moment is that the 13th Doctor drowns and that's how she dies and regenerates, and palaver, it's all very dramatic, which it would be a very interesting thing to do. And I don't think Doctor Who would do it, because it might be, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too morbid to do, like having the hero of your sci-fi show for families drown horrifically to death. But it would look really cool. Like, it could also be like a mirror image of the woman who fell to Earth, like Jodie falling was her first thing, falling through the sky, like, and then her regeneration is her falling into the water, going like down in the water. You have the orange lights bursting out of the water. Maybe like the regeneration energy could even like sort of shoot her up and out of the water, or maybe she regenerates under there and the 14th Doctor swims to the surface. Something cool like that. It would just be a really new and interesting way of visually showing a regeneration, rather than the stereotypical, I'm going to stand here and put out my arms and it would be a new way of doing it, and that could be quite interesting. I mean, I don't think they'll do it, but it does look like Yaz and Jodie are going to be on their own, having a nice little Thasmin-y moment towards the end of the centenary special from that image. And as I say, those Legend of the Sea Devils leaked images, they don't show much, but what they do show is that the Thasmin stuff is developing, and we get a very, very, albeit brief look at what the Sea Devils look like again, which is just brilliant. I cannot wait for that episode. It should be airing on Easter of this year, I think, which is under a month away now, so we should be expecting a trailer or official press statements or official images anytime soon. But that does bring us to the end of today's second video. I hope you did enjoy. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I forgot to say that. Like and subscribe, or you will die a horrible, painful death from the Sea Devils eating you. Just like and subscribe so I don't have to say waffle like that again. Cheers.